Hello everyone, Jarek Defiler, the Patient Gamer at your service here to take a glimpse into a little old game called Risk of Rain 2, or what I like to call Roarer 2. Being a patient gamer, I have the tendency to dabble in a fairly large variety of indie titles or games from some smaller, newer, and lesser known studios. As all the hair on my masculine yet sensual body grows grayer, I have had the pleasure to watch many of these studios succeed and build themselves upon a foundation of strong game mechanics, awesome stories, and a respect for their customer base. Now, I'm not that familiar with Hopoo Games, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, the small studio that developed Risk of Rain 2, but according to Wikipedia, and we all know how reliable that site can be, am I right? The first Risk of Rain was created solely by two college students at the University of Washington who go by the names of Duncan Drummond and Paul Morris. They went on to head the development of Risk of Rain 2 along with one Jeffrey Hunt, and all I can say is that it shows, in the most positive sense of the phrase. Risk of Rain 2 is the epitome of a game made by gamers for gamers, and I will absolutely be gushing over it throughout this video. It is such a breath of fresh air to have a game that doesn't coddle you as if you were a child, to have a game that doesn't hold your hand or put you on a pedestal like some deity and attempt to make you feel special like you're the chosen one. No, not Risk of Rain 2. This game is a prime lesson in creativity and fun. Roarer 2 simply gives you the tools to create absolute mayhem in an awesome environment with diverse maps and enemies that bring new challenges and craziness with each stage. So what exactly is Risk of Rain 2? Roarer 2 is a roguelike third-person shooter that finds the player controlling characters called survivors as they make their way through different biomes on an alien planet or something. I haven't really looked into the story because the gameplay has just been too much fun, and stories in most roguelikes you tend to have to go hunting for, so this one's no different. Like all roguelikes, you have micro and macro progression. Micro in the sense that each run you progress by killing enemies and obtaining items that will last that run. Upon death or winning that run, all items are lost and reset for the next run. The cycle then continues. Wow. Macro progression is unlocking more items, and there is a ton, that you will be able to use in your runs, as well as discovering logs containing information on the environments and monsters inhabiting them, as well as snippets of the story that you can piece together yourself if you so wish. There is also a plethora of challenges or achievements to unlock, as well as artifacts, which are modifiers that you can use on new runs to spice things up a bit. I highly recommend the artifact of Command for some crazy fun super build runs. The game sports 3 preset difficulties: Drizzle, Rainstorm, which is the normal difficulty, and Monsoon, the hardest. These allow the proper challenge for any variety of player. Drizzle is great for newcomers and those who simply want to have a good fun romp or are trying to unlock new abilities on their survivors via completing challenges. While Monsoon is a hefty fight to survive difficulty that will find you using your brain and reflexes a bit more, as well as having to strategize proper builds instead of just running in guns a-blazing. There's room for everyone. Also, as the stages progress, there is an in-game scaling difficulty meter in the top right of the screen that also progresses with time, going from easy to medium, hard, very hard, etc., until it reaches the final scale of ha 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 ha. Once you reach that difficulty, you will have lots more elite monsters spawn and they'll be stronger and whatnot. There are 14 survivors in total that you can choose from, 2 of which are only accessible if you have purchased the Survivors of the Void expansion, which I highly recommend, and 1 being a powerful secret in-game unlock via obtaining specific items. Each survivor brings their own unique flavor to the game via abilities tailored to different playstyles. The Huntress, for example, is a highly mobile archer who I enjoy playing with high movement and attack speed as well as loads of crit. In contrast, you have the Loader, who is a fully melee grappler type that latches onto her enemies with hooks and gains a barrier when she punches stuff, allowing her to stay in the fight almost indefinitely, albeit while still being at risk. Her I like to build somewhat tanky with bleeds and explosions. Each survivor is just as unique, allowing for a plethora of fun and innovative builds where the sky's the limit. Speaking of builds, given the vast number of items in the game, you have so many build options that it would take a dozen lifetimes to get through them all, because ultimately you create them. Items always stack, and given how they synergize and what each brings to the table, it's hard to find an actual bad build because they almost are always capable of working, for the normal and easier difficulties at least. Once you get to Monsoon, things can be a bit harder to play around with. You have to be a little bit more serious there. But that's why we have Drizzle difficulty. It promotes creativity and thinking outside of the box, so go ham and just play around with whatever you want. You can go super movement and attack speed, or a fatty tank thorn build where you just stand there and kill enemies by having them beat on you. Try a flying build where you just hover over the battlefield laying down bombs or shots from the sky, or you can do a sprint artillery build where you literally just run around killing stuff without even attacking. If you get the proper items anyways. The options are limitless, and the best part about all this is that when you obtain a new item on a run, it actually visually shows up on your survivor, so the more items you get, the more junk you have hanging off you, essentially meaning the uglier you are, the more powerful you are. It's a hoot and brings in just that much more fun to an already blast of a game. I want to have sex with this game. Anywho, the monster variety is grand with all types of nasties to make your slaughterfest as much fun as possible. You have melee, range guys, squishies, tankies, elites, turret types, bosses, and more. As you progress through the stages, the monsters will get even nastier, so be prepared. With the Survivors of the Void expansion, you get a whole new variety of void monsters that really test your survival skills as well, so don't miss out. It's worth buying the expansion right off the bat because it just adds more stuff and you're not skipping any content or anything if you purchase it with the original, so go for it! The pacing of each run is entirely up to the player. You can literally beat a drizzle run in less than 20 minutes if you want, or you can do an extensive farming run like my brother and I did this weekend that lasted 3.5 hours. It's all up to you. Each stage will host randomized maps for that stage level, and each map is fun and unique in their own right. Naturally, there will be some you fancy while others you don't, but I wouldn't say any of them are bad, just different. They mostly look alien, but you'll have some snowy mountain ones too, which happen to be my favorite, but there are also a few secret ones that you will stumble upon if you haven't looked them up yet. Speaking of secrets, like many roguelikes, Roller 2 is full of them. As you progress through the macro progression, you will discover tons of hidden areas, enemies, items, and unique unlocks that will keep you coming back for more. Not that the game has a problem with you coming back, because the replayability is nigh infinite. You will always be coming back for more. If this kind of game is your cup of tea anyways. But what are my criticisms? In all honesty, the few that I can think of are more a nitpicking dealio than anything else. The game's performance is generally great. On my rig I run around 125 FPS on average, no problem. But when you do get to later stages of the game where you have like 500 things going on the screen at once, it does tank the frame rates and I have suffered some deaths because of freeze up. But those are very specific moments when you are past the end game, and I can't really fault the game for that because you are pushing it far beyond its limits. Some may not like the graphical style. I think it's great and works fine for this genre as it is simplistic, thus allowing for better performance while still maintaining some charm of its own. There are sometimes some inconsistencies when it comes to deaths at high level stages. In one moment you will be an unstoppable powerhouse that is just plowing through everything without so much as holding a fart, and then suddenly you'll get one shot despite having multiple items that are supposed to block damage and whatnot. The death screen only shows what monster killed you, so it would be nice if there was, say, a 5 to 10 second breakdown of the damage you took before your death so you can see what precise ability killed you, so you can better prepare for that in the future. However, I think sometimes it may be chalked up to bugs or some hiccup in the game's processing. Who knows? That said, those are probably the only criticisms I can think of off the top of my head. As you can probably tell, I really enjoy Risk of Rain 2, and I implore all of you who are into roguelikes and third-person shooters to give it a shot, because you won't be disappointed. The devs really know their stuff when it comes to giving the player the tools to be, well, a player. You're not limited because the devs want you to play their way. You aren't held back by loot boxes, XP walls, or handholding. You're just given this toy chest full of explosives, innovation, and guns to do with as you wish, and it's glorious. So pick up Risk of Rain 2 today and join in on the fun. And let me finish with saying that this soundtrack is absolutely stellar. Composed by Chris Christodoulou, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, probably not. The music in Roar 2 is psychedelic and eerie at times, but with a constant ambient chill that just makes your head bob ever so slightly. So I'm going to bless your eardrums with a minute or so of its coolness. This has been Jarek Defiler, weeping in joy at Risk of Rain 2. You all take it easy, and game on, my friends.